Hi, I'm Dr. Bojack from Atlantic Chiropractic in Stoneham, Mass. Today we're going to talk about PGS or Power Golf. And we're going to start with the most important club. And you might think it's this. It's not. It's this. Okay? So, your swing centers around these hips, which is your foundation, and your spine, which is your center point of your swing. Okay? If this club doesn't work, and there's no fluency in motion and mechanics in this club, you can get all you want of these. You can get all you want of golf balls, golf shoes, golf hats, golf shirts, whatever you want. You're not gonna, or golf instructors. You're not gonna change your swing. So, to prove that, what we're first gonna look at is, in order for you to have a fluent swing, first you're gonna have to wind up these muscles. Okay, so these are your muscles, your front muscles, your pec muscles, your actual shoulder girdle, your abdominals, and your trap muscles. Okay. So, before we wind up your most important club, which is your spine, okay, first of all, let's see what it does. Okay, so the muscles, tendons, and ligaments attach into this spine, and it's kind of like is guide wires for a telephone pole, right? So you got a telephone pole, the guide wires go into that telephone pole and support it. Okay? Although this telephone pole has neurology in it, and that neurology is telling that muscle tone, okay, this muscle tone either to wind up and be tight and contracted, or to unwind to be relaxed. Okay? So whether we're talking about the anterior face of that body or the posterior face of that torso, both of those faces, right, you have to have a nice relaxed tone of muscle in order to wind it up. So first, right, golf's not played up here, right, like baseball, okay, nor tennis, okay, or volleyball. It's played on the ground. So the first thing you got to do is have a posture to address that ball. So you're going to first flex forward. That's your S line. So if you're not flexing forward and creating that S line or that angle to address the ball, you're already starting from scratch, right? Or behind that swing. You're already having a weak swing, or there's going to be problems in your swing. So first of all, you got to have those erector muscles got to be loose enough and functional enough to let you bend forward to create that S line, to create the angle to address the ball. So first I want to address that little angle. That little angle is not a little angle. It's really important as far as setting up for your shot and that flexion forward. So if you're getting spasms in these erectors, or those erectors are really tight, or they're real stiff, or you don't even have flexion in your pelvis. Okay? And I've seen postures where they're so stiff that you don't have flexion. So you might have an instructor right now telling you to bend and create that S angle in your low back, and you can't even create it because you don't have mechanics in order to create it in this foundation for your swing. So that's the first point. The angle from your pelvis to bend over to address the ball that's on the ground. And then, again, we've gone over this in a previous clip about your S line. Second thing, right, your shoulders got to be back. Now I'm going to tell you right now, the number of patients I see come in here with anterior translation or rounded shoulders or this buffalo hump is very, very high. Especially with the virus and everybody working at home on their computers on the dining room table. Again, right? S-line and then the shoulders got to be back. If you have these anterior translation or you have this rounded shoulders, which I shared with you, right? To check that, you stand up against the wall, push your shoulders back so that you feel both shoulders touching the actual wall and your head goes back, and stand there for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. See if you can do that. I'll bet most people can't without getting spasm, tightness, or irritation. So tell me how you're going to loosen up those muscles to wind them up in order to create that swing. These are your posterior muscles. Now they're layered, right? Here's your trap muscles, your lat muscles, okay? Your upper trap muscles, your shoulder girdle muscles, and again, these serratus anteriors. Now I hear instructors constantly and consistently say you wind up the swing and you unwind the swing. My question to you, the golfer, is if you have this translation or these rounded shoulders or the buffalo hump, do you think these muscles are tight and wound up, or do you think they're relaxed and moving and everything's feeling good? You tell me, because I got a hunch when you got these rounded shoulders and you feel your shoulders going forward and you're constantly doing this, you're doing this because there's so much tension and tightness in your sternum and in your cage because these posterior muscles are all wound up. It's a pretty difficult task to wind up tight muscles. Okay? If any of you out there have a trick for that, you let me know. But I haven't found one yet. So for you to go out there and go from this posture of your head going forward and your shoulders going forward and tightness in your mid-thoracic and your base of your neck to relaxed, ho-hum, I feel great, and winding and being able to wind up those muscles back there because now they're relaxed, but before they were holding you in this posture, but now they're all good. And now you're addressing the ball with your shoulders back and your head back, and you got this angle in your low back for the S-line. So what I'm sharing with you, you got instructors and they're telling you to constantly bring your shoulders back. Well, that's pretty difficult when you have this posture. One other point. When you start getting this anterior translation or this buffalo hump, what you start doing is impinging these shoulder girdles. Especially this humeral head in that shoulder girdle. So that's in a synovial capsule. You start getting impingements on the front of these capsules. So tell me how you're going to wind up and unwind your swing. Very, very challenging when you're in a state of hypertonicity or those muscles are all jacked up in tension and tightness. Pretty difficult to do. Especially when I said that this isn't your number one club, this is your number one club. This is your club that's going to cause your crushing speed, right? The fluency of how this club moves, the strength and speed that this club moves is going to determine the hit and how hard you're going to hit that ball and how accurate you're going to hit that ball. It starts here. Okay? You can't change mechanics if you walk to address the ball and your head's down, your shoulders are down, and your traps are all wound up, and your rhomboids are all wound up, and your upper pec's all wound up. There's no way you're going to be able to release to open that swing up. So what I see mostly is people trying to muscle through the ball, right? Because the fluency of the swing's not there. And you're not rotating through the swing, and you're not opening up that cage, because you can't open the cage up. So how can you're missing that whole follow through. And you don't have the actual muscle to relax, so it can what? Tighten up and contract and follow through, hit the ball, go through, and relax. Very, very difficult when you don't have the mechanics in this club. So again, I want you to take a hard look at this club first, particularly when you're addressing the ball, or before you even walk on the golf course. Like I said, stand up against the wall, head back, shoulders back, stand there for 6-7 minutes. You know what? Just to stretch out those muscles, because you've been sitting at the computer this way. So it's pretty difficult for those muscles to even have the length to go back, because they're contracted in this way. And this contraction is going to suffocate your swing. No matter how hard you try and how many clubs you get. Because again, it starts here. Those shoulders got to be back. That angle's got to be forward for you to dress that ball on the ground. So again, fluency of your swing is always dependent first and foremost with this spine. And the more relaxed this spine is, the more relaxed those muscles are going to be, because the more mechanics you're going to have. And the more mechanics you have, the more comfortable the motion and the mobility is going to be, so that you have the availability to what? Wind up that swing. I guarantee you most of you out there don't wind your swing up, or you're missing 20 to 30% of your swing just because your muscles are in contraction to start with. And like I said, it's difficult to contract a muscle that's already contracted. So, again, if you like this clip, we love doing them. Give us a little love back. Hit the subscribe button. You're more than welcome to call us at Atlanta Chiropractic, 781-GET-WELL. Your season's right around the corner. We'd love to check you, get that motion, that mobility going, reprogram that new swing with a follow through to it, okay? And you releasing and opening up, so that sternum opens up, because those shoulders are back versus those shoulders being forward. And even those capsules on those shoulders having the motion and the mobility for you have that movement. Okay? Love to see you out here. Have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.